Sam Bayliss, Tom and Sam Maxwell, and on the line right now, we're sure to have Tom and Sam. Welcome in, guys. How are you?
Hey, Leanne, how's it going?
Hello. Hey, thanks for doing this. Have you got Sam with you as well?
No, unfortunately, Sammy's not here. He's absent. Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sam's still Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, hey, I'm really grateful, Tom, that you're there, because that would have been bad. Yeah. So you're in Auckland right now. So what took you up north?
We've been up here playing a couple of shows in Napier at the Paisley stage and at a place called Rosemary's in Taupo, actually, as well.
Right. And how did the gigs go?
Oh, the gigs were fantastic. First time that we played in Taupo, so that was really great. Rosemary's is a really cool, sort of like a sort of divey bar up there. Really, really nice people that run it, Logan. And then Paisley stages in Napier, and we've played there a few times now, and it's one of our favourite spots to head to for sure.
Right. But Rosemary's doesn't sound divey, but it is.
Yeah, it's got quite a sweet name. But yeah, the people are sweet too. But yeah, there's a nice sort of like rock and roll sort of dive bar aesthetic going on. It's quite good. It's
cool because I spent a lot of time in Taupo as a kid, and I wouldn't imagine it sounds rude, but it having loads of live venues. But I guess things have changed a lot, right? Yeah. I think places like Rosemary's are starting to bring a sort of maybe a different vibe to Taupo here, because it does seem like sort of a tourist-centric sort of location. It's beautiful, it's good to see something different going on there for sure. And what do you think? And do you think you picked up a few extra fans on the way? Like, were people familiar with your songs, or were they all new to your music?
Surprisingly, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there was quite a few new people that hadn't heard of us before, but we tried to make an impression and put on a good, like, energetic show. So hopefully we made the right impression. But there was surprisingly actually a few people that did know some of the songs. King of the Jungle that you were just playing seems to be one that gets requested a lot. Also another one called Naturally. That seemed to be one that a lot of people were looking forward to hearing. So that's pretty cool.
It's great, and we will play Naturally in a few minutes. Like you've got a lot of songs, and when you play live, it's quite interesting. I think Sam was quoted on this in an article because he said that that you're eclectic. And I think it's a good word to describe you, because your songs are like, some are, like you said, they go really hard, or then they'll be soft, and then it might run for 2 minutes, and then off it'll go on another tangent. So you like to surprise your listeners?
We do. We kind of like to surprise ourselves as well, actually, to be fair.
Always good.
But, it's, I don't know, it seems like the live shows are sort of taking on a different shape now as well. We do like to improvise a lot. We sort of leave sections in songs for improvisation, and then we might have a cue or something, tie us back in, bring us back down. Sort of the dynamics between songs is quite fun to sort of try and maybe play with the audience a little bit. You start with a really heavy sort of like banger, and then you might bring it down for like a sort of a gentle ballad or something like that. So it's kind of good. It keeps everybody on their toes, I guess.
Oh, of course. Are you at the airport?
Yeah, I am actually. We're just about to head back down to Airtown.
Oh, well, it's extra nice of you to give us your time when you should be chilling at the airport. No,
it's all good. We just had a last-minute flight time change, so that's all good.
Oh, did they?
A bit sooner than we expected.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh. So is your time limited then?
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, we can keep chatting.
Well, don't get into trouble and you get to the gate and they're like, where were you?
Yeah, exactly. No, we're all good.
Okay, good. So, influences, Tom, who would you cite as your main influences in this band?
We all sort of bring different influences to the table. I think because there's a couple of songs there that we chose to play as well as our own. So there's like Don McGlashan with Anchor Me, I think, and I don't know if you're still going to be playing those, but
yes, we are.
We just think that that's like one of the best songs, to come out of New Zealand. I think it's such a great song. I remember seeing Don McGlashan play at the Sherwood and he played that song, and it's like, you know, the hairs on your arms stand up whenever he plays it.
Yes.
Very cool. And then Sammy obviously brings a lot of like the heavy rock influences. He's a big fan of a lot of bands like Guns N' Roses and things like that. Also a big fan of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, so there's sort of like a theatrical aspect to things that he brings to the table, and my influences are sort of more rooted in the sort of blues and rock sort of genres, you know, things like the White Stripes and another band called The Kills. Jamie Hintz, the guitar player there, he's a huge hero of mine. I think he's just got a really cool, unique sound.
Yeah, we've got that track lined up as well, Tom.
Yeah, that's, I think it's at No Wow.
That's the one.
Yeah, very cool. Sort of like minimalist, sort of blues. But yeah, very, very unique sound on this guitar. So yeah, I definitely look up to him for sure.
How long
and
have
then Sammy...
Sorry, carry on.
Oh, sorry. No, it was just... And then Sammy Bayless, he's got a bunch of wide influences. He listens to everything. You know, he listens to hip-hop, rock, you know, jazz. Anything. He's quite an open book when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah, so between the three of you, it's quite healthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good. It seems to be a good chemistry between the three of us. We have a lot of fun when we play. There's a lot of sort of like unspoken sort of communication, especially with cues, and like we were talking about with the improvisation and things like that. So it seems to work quite well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think being brothers, you sort of know what the other's thinking to a point also.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah, I guess that's definitely a factor. You don't think about that, because Bayless definitely seems to slot in. He might be the third brother, perhaps. Yeah,
yeah, he's a brother from another mother.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I remember you guys were supporting She Had at Coronet last year. Would that rate as one of the more fun gigs you played?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, playing up Coronet Peak's a pretty cool thing to do in of itself, and then to be opening for She Had, that was, they're one of the legendary rock bands to come out of New Zealand, right? So, yeah, we're pretty chuffed to be able to have an opportunity like that for sure.
And have you got anything like that coming up in the near future that I can tell people about, or you can tell them about?
We're definitely going to be heading back up north again, I think around July. I've actually got to I'm heading over to the UK at the end of August for a few months.
And what's that all about, Tom?
Oh, that's a whole story, but long story short, I'm being flown over to play a gig over in Surrey in the UK, so it's quite cool. I'm getting all flights and everything all paid for, so very, very fortunate with that one.
That's wonderful. And who is that? Solo, Tom?
Yeah, that's me just on my own. It sort of came about just by sort of chance, really. Just meeting some people who, ended up flying me, over to the other side of the world to go and play at a gig over there. So that'd be cool, and it's all a flexible fare and things like that to head back over. So I'm going to sort of hang around there for a few months and see what Europe's all about, because I've never been over there before. So.
Oh, that's a great opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll want to sort of get. We've got a song recorded for the Stranglers that's almost finished. So we'd love to be able to release a new single and maybe play some shows to support that before August. So we're looking at July at the moment.
Fantastic.
Which is going to come around very quickly.
I know. Crazy, isn't it? It's nearly the end of May. It's bonkers.
I know.
So I reckon we should play another Stranglers song. Are you okay to hold on for a few more minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this is Naturally Seaside Stranglers.
Still here.
Oh my goodness, because we got to tell people you're actually on the plane.
Yeah, I am on the plane. So we had like a last minute. We transferred the flight to an earlier flight.
Right.
Yeah, it's stupid o'clock.
Yeah.
Just because some people needed to be down a bit sooner
Okay.
Back down in Arrowtown. But yeah, so that's all good.
That's
so
crazy.
I haven't gotten in trouble yet, so that's fine.
Well, if you do, don't get in trouble, on our behalf. But we were talking.
I'll try not to get kicked off the plane.
Exactly, that would be super bad. You've had some really good reviews, Tom. Like, people call you one of the best live high energy alt rock acts around, which is really great, isn't it? And because you've toured in places like Waiheke, I think more and more you are a familiar name.
Yeah, definitely the high energy is a thing that we would probably like to pride ourselves on, I think. You're sort of like trying to give people an experience, I suppose, and you really sort of give it your all, and it's short and it's sharp and hopefully memorable. And
of course Sam adds a lot to that because he's got that natural X factor.
Very good afternoon.
Here's the pilot. Okay. You can't do this. We've got to respect the pilot. Tom, why don't we play The Kills and you have a great trip home.
Amazing.
See you soon. Thanks for your time.
Okay, yeah. Bye.
Tom Maxwell, the lead rhythm guitarist of the Seaside Stranglers. We've just been chatting with Tom about his band. They've played a couple of gigs up in Taupo and Napier just this last week gone, heading back south. But interview came to an abrupt end, actually, because it turns out that Tom was actually on the flight, ready to leave Auckland, bound for Queenstown. And when the pilot started talking, I thought, right, okay, this is definitely time to let Tom off the hook. But it was very, very nice of him not to turn down the interview just because he happened to be on an aircraft about to leave. I can't believe he wasn't given a little slap over the knuckles. But no, good on you, Tom. Thanks so much. And if you do get a chance to catch the Seaside Stranglers, I recommend it. They're a brilliant band. And they obviously have great taste in music as well, because one of the songs that Tom had chosen to play in our interview, which was going to last for an hour but clearly isn't now, was the song by the Mutton Birds, Don McGlashan, which I think is loved by so many people.